Have you ever poured your heart out to God, desperate for an answer, a sign, anything, only to be met with what feels like deafening silence? You pray, you plead, you search the scriptures, but heaven seems quiet. It is a lonely and confusing place to be, especially when you are walking through a storm and urgently need His guidance or comfort. If you are wrestling with the question, God, why are you silent when I need you most? Then please know you are not alone in this feeling. Many faithful people throughout history have walked this path. Today we are going to explore this profound mystery, seeking to understand why God might seem silent and how we can find His presence and peace even in the quiet. One crucial truth to remember is that God's ways and thoughts are infinitely higher than ours. The prophet Isaiah tells us in chapter 55, verses 8 and 9, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." This profound statement means His silence might be because His plan is far more complex, intricate, and beautiful than we can currently grasp from our limited perspective. He could be working behind the scenes in ways we cannot see, orchestrating events for a purpose that will ultimately bring Him glory and our deepest good. Think of Joseph, sold into slavery by his brothers, falsely accused and forgotten in prison. For years, God must have seemed utterly silent. Yet, God was positioning him to save a nation. His silence is not necessarily a sign of inaction or disinterest. It can be a sign that a much larger story is unfolding. Another vital aspect to consider is God's perfect timing. We live in a world of instant gratification, and we often want answers now, relief now. But the Bible reminds us in 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 9, "The Lord is not slow in keeping His promise, as some understand slowness. Instead, He is patient with you." While this verse primarily speaks of His return, the principle of His perfect patient timing applies to our personal lives too. Consider Abraham and Sarah, who waited decades for the promised son, Isaac. Their waiting was not empty. It was a period of refining their faith and learning to trust God's promise above all circumstances. Perhaps the silence you are experiencing is a season of waiting where He is developing patience, deeper faith, or Christ-like character within you. It could be that the timing for what you are asking is not yet right according to His divine schedule, or He is preparing you for the blessing you are seeking. It is a hard truth to embrace sometimes, but His delays are not always denials. They are often divine appointments for preparation or protection from something we do not yet understand. He sees the full tapestry, while we only see a few threads. Finally, and perhaps most comfortingly, God is present and understands you completely, even when He seems silent. Think about Jesus Christ Himself. In Hebrews chapter 4 verse 15 we read, "For we do not have a high priest who is unable to empathize with our weaknesses, but we have one who has been tempted in every way just as we are, yet He did not sin." Jesus experienced the full spectrum of human emotion and suffering. He knew what it felt like to pray earnestly, as He did in the Garden of Gethsemane, asking for the cup to pass, yet ultimately submitting to the Father's will. He even cried out on the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me?" He understands what it feels like to feel alone, to feel unheard, to long for the Father's intervention. So, when you experience God's silence, please remember, it is not an absence of His love or His presence. He is not distant or uncaring. He is intimately aware of your pain, your questions, and your longing. His silence is not a reflection of His love for you. His love is constant and unwavering. So, what can we do practically when navigating these seasons of silence? First, make a conscious choice to trust His character, His goodness, His wisdom, even when you cannot trace His hand or understand His plan. Remember His past faithfulness in your own life and immerse yourself in the stories of His faithfulness throughout the Scriptures. Second, continue to actively seek His presence, not just His presence, meaning not just the answers or solutions you desire. Immerse yourself in prayer, even when it feels like a monologue. Pour out your heart, honestly. Spend time in His Word, allowing it to speak to you. Listen to worship music that lifts your spirit. Find moments for quiet reflection, simply to be still and know that He is God. Sometimes the very purpose of the silence is to draw us into a deeper, more intimate relationship with Him, one that relies not on what He does for us, but on who He is to us. Look for the subtle whispers of His grace, the small, everyday blessings, the unexpected moments of peace or encouragement. These are often His gentle reminders that He is still near. And find deep, profound comfort in knowing that He understands your struggle perfectly because He walked this earth. To sum up, God's perceived silence is not a sign of His disapproval, His rejection, or His abandonment. It can be an invitation to a deeper faith, a necessary part of His infinitely wise and loving plan, or an element of His perfect sovereign timing. He sees you, He hears your heart's cry, and He is with you even, and perhaps especially, in the quiet. Do not lose hope, dear friend. Hold on to your faith even if it feels as small as a mustard seed. Keep seeking His face. He is faithful, and He promises to never leave you nor forsake you. He will bring you through this season. If this message has blessed you and brought some comfort to your heart, please show your support by liking this video. This helps us reach more people who might be feeling lost in the silence and need this encouragement. We would love to hear your thoughts, your own experiences, or your prayer requests in the comments below. We truly value our community and we do read them. And please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell so you do not miss out on more simple yet powerful teachings from God's Word, designed to uplift, encourage, and strengthen you in your walk of faith, one verse at a time.